Hey Lee Tribe, what's going on? So I did a video that you're looking at on the screen back in January about RedBubble, and you guys really seemed to like that video, and it spawned a lot of questions. So I'm doing this follow-up video to answer a lot of your questions, as well as share some additional tips and strategies. In fact, I've got so much to cover, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my notes, which I don't typically do, but I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. So I'm going to start off by talking about the new products that RedBubble is offering, which I'm excited about. I'm also going to discuss choosing different images for different products on RedBubble within, one upload. Also, I'm going to talk about how I choose my default images for my uploads. I've been getting a ton of questions on that. That's probably been the most popular question that came out of that. Hardcover journals. I started selling a couple, and I had never sold those before. And I wonder if you were doing the same thing that I was doing, and that's probably why I wasn't selling. I don't know, but we're going to talk about that. Also going to make sure you get your products in front of youth, babies. Well, not in front of babies, but moms that are buying for babies. A lot of you guys probably already know that tip. That's not like a pro tip by any means. If you've been on RedBubble for a while, you probably already know that. Pricing. A lot of people have asked me, do I raise my prices? How do I handle my margins on my products? I'll talk a little bit about that. Stickers. I'm also going to share why you might want to disable stickers as your default view for the time being, just temporarily. And then watermarks. My experience, my opinions. Okay. So with that said, let's get started, you guys. All right. So if you go into RedBubble, you will notice when you either edit a product or upload a new product, you will see shower curtains and duvets over here. It's actually with the duvet. So with the same design that fits the shower curtain will fit the duvet. So if you think the duvets are missing, they've just been added to the shower curtains. And then down at the bottom, there are bath mats. Now, what's important to note is that if you want to sell these products, you need to go into your older designs and enable them because they are not enabled by default. And the reason why RedBubble does this is if they enable them by default, your designs might not be sized appropriately like they are here. See that? So can you imagine all of our designs going live on these products and they're not even fitting correctly? So they did that so you can go in, enable them as you wish, and then go in and resize them so they fit actually on the product. And then of course you can change the colors like you can on any of the other products. I am actually very excited about the bath mats, not because I think I'm going to be selling a lot of bath mats, but you guys, I know this is going to sound strange. Don't judge me, but I'm a bath mat junkie. I love a fluffy plush bath mat, y'all. I do. I have like 3 bath mats in my bathroom. I've got one by the tub, one by my walk-in shower, one by my vanity. I just love fluffy bath mats. Now, I don't think these are fluffy by looking at the preview, but you can have some fun personalizing them and maybe doing something cool with your bathroom. If you don't want to sell them, you can make something for yourself. Unfortunately, I won't be testing out the shower curtains because none of my showers have curtains. They're all the walk-in with the glass door, so won't be buying any of those. But you guys, I'm talking about buying their products because I am very impressed with the RedBubble products. I have purchased their totes. I have purchased their t-shirts. I have also purchased their pillows. I showed you guys the picture in a past video where I showed you how I bought a pillow, designed a pillow, and put it on my couch downstairs. And I was very impressed with the quality. So RedBubble's product quality, I know people complain about the prices, but they do have good quality. So that's a good thing. Now, let's talk about choosing different images for different products. This is something that I do quite a bit, and I think it kind of makes sense just because some of the products are shaped differently. I think I mentioned this in the other video, but I didn't actually show an example. So let's just say you have this dance design, and so for the t-shirt, this dance design looks fine. But for a phone case, which is more slim, it's more rectangular, this probably wouldn't fit as well, and you'd have to shrink it down enough just to get the dance in there. So here's an example of something I might do. I will modify the design just a little bit. So as you can see, I move the girl over to the left and then I type the dance vertically. So for the phone cases, because I do sell, a decent amount of phone cases, sometimes I will alter the design so it looks best on a rectangular shape. The phones are really shaped differently than most of the other products. Most of the rest of the products are more square. The travel mugs are a little long. Of course, the leggings are a little long. But I find for the phone case, a lot of times my t-shirt designs that are made for t-shirts don't necessarily look good on the phone case. So this is something that I do. And I think the phone cases sell enough on RedBubble where it's worth taking some time to make sure your design looks good on them. In fact, a lot of people will say you want to make sure it looks good on every single product. Now, I don't spend a lot of time, you guys, honestly, on most of the products. Now, if you notice for the t-shirts, the icon for the dancer is white, but that doesn't show up as well on the stickers. And the reason why I tend to choose white or colors that look good on black is because most people like to buy black t-shirts, but that's not going to work for the stickers. So I made the icon black so it stands out with the stickers. Now, let's talk about the default view. I get so many questions about this. What's very interesting about the default view that I choose, whatever I choose, it's not necessarily what sells the most. So for example, if I have a sticker as my default image, I might still sell more t-shirts or more laptop skins. So I don't really see a correlation with the default versus what I sell. So my strategy is I try to choose defaults that look the best, or I choose default images of products I sell the most of. So once I started selling more, I was like, oh, I sell a lot of laptop skins, or I sell a lot of tapestries. So let me start using more of those as the default. But when I first started, I only did stickers and t-shirts as my default for the most part, because that was all I was really selling. And everybody said, oh, you only sell stickers and t-shirts. You don't sell anything else, which is not true. I sell a lot of different things, as I talked about in that January video. So I kind of play around with it, and I just sort of let what sells dictate what I'm going to put here. So at one point I had a design that I had the t-shirt as the default, but then the laptop skins started selling a lot. So I went in and changed it to the laptop skin as the default. So I just sort of let the sales dictate what I do here, but I don't necessarily see a correlation with what I choose as the default with what sells. I don't know about you guys. I would love to know how that works out for you. Okay, hardcover journals. Now, this is something that I wouldn't say I was doing it wrong, because obviously it depends on the design, depends on the audience. But when I first sold a hardcover journal, I was like, oh, I wonder what sold. And when I went to look at it, I was like, oh, look at how I placed that design on there. So for most of my hardcover journals, this is what they look like, or this is what they used to look like, because I really didn't know what to do. I would just do it like that. But the problem with displaying it like that is when you close the book, half of the design is on the front, half is on the back. Doesn't look very good, even though it looks decent in the preview. So I didn't realize at first that they have this little icon here that lets you put it on the front and the back. So for the hardcover journals that I have sold, they are sized down like this, a little bit to the top, and then centered in the front and the back. Now, depends on the product. You might have to test. For example, if you have a little icon or something, you might want to do a pattern design like this. I would imagine this works really well for the hardcover journals, the leggings, and those types of products. But for me, I'm only speaking for myself, the ones that I have sold have been positioned on the product like this, and they've been single images. Okay, so for youth. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but if you've been on RedBubble a long time, you probably already know this. You have to make sure when you're doing your standard print clothing that you select kids' clothes if you want to sell baby clothes and kid clothes. And they do that because they don't want inappropriate or profanity on a t-shirt. So they make you check this. Otherwise, it's not going to show up on kids. So it's sort of like a protection, if you will, for the youth and kids. So make sure you do that, because I have sold a decent amount of kids and baby clothes. So you definitely want to check that if it's appropriate. All right, next on the list, pricing. Okay, I get that question a lot. So as you probably know, you can go into your settings and you can adjust your margins for the different products. Now, this is my dummy account. I don't really use this account, but as you can see here, everything is at 20%. What I did is I left everything at the default at first. And then once I started selling things, I started bumping up things a little bit at a time, 10%, 20%. And if it still sells, I just keep going up, 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 up. The only thing I would say that you could bump up immediately would be stickers. I've heard so many people say they sell no problem at 100%, 200%. I think I have mine set on my other account at 100%. And I have seen no decline in sales at all. But for the other products, I sort of let the sales dictate what I do. I just wait to see if I get some sales and then I start bumping them up slowly. Because my thing is, if something sells at $36, it's probably going to sell at $39. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thought process on that. But I don't just go in and mindlessly bump everything up like some people do, because RedBubble's prices are a little high for some people. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. That's why I kind of wait it out and see what's going to happen there. Now let's talk about the stickers. Now, if you have the watermarks enabled like I do, when you go to the sticker, you might notice when you click on the actual image and you see the enlarged version, the watermark is gone. So I contacted RedBubble and they said that it's a glitch. And if you're worried about it, then change that from your default. And so just don't use the stickers right now for your default. Now, obviously, that's not going to deter everyone, but it makes them click around if somebody's going to go in and try to steal your image. So that's what I did. I went in and it took me forever. But for those designs that I had as the default with stickers, I took them off and chose a different product because, unfortunately, theft is an issue. But I will say this, I've had a whole lot more theft with merch by Amazon than I have RedBubble. And I think that's because I watermark my designs, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. Watermarks, a lot of you have been wanting to know, should you watermark, should you not? I personally have not seen any decrease in sales from watermarking my designs. I know some people believe that they do decrease sales. It's one of those things you'll never really know for sure, right? But I haven't seen a decrease. Now, would I have sold more had I not used the watermark? Maybe. It's one of those things I just won't ever know. But I think it's worth it because, like I said, I have designs that are on RedBubble, but are not on merch. So for some things I can sort of track to see which gets stolen the most. And my merch by Amazon designs by far get stolen the most, and RedBubble the least, because I use the watermark. So I would either use the watermark where they put it right in the center or the all over. I've done both, and I've seen no issue with either. I don't like the one where they put it down here in the corner like this person is using, because they can still just grab the image. But it seems to deter them if you have the watermark like in the center or all over the image. I know a lot of you all don't like that because it looks crazy, but honestly, you guys, I have not seen a decrease since I started doing that. And for the longest time, I didn't use a watermark at all on RedBubble. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope I didn't make it too terribly long. I tried to get through these without rambling too much because y'all know I can ramble. But if you have any questions, let me know and I'll talk to you down in the comments.